Hey everyone, welcome back to TheTopher Drives, where in front of me is a car that I've been hiding from you all for the past year. I can't believe I've been able to keep it a secret for so long, but this is a 1996 BMW Z3 1.9 with a 5-speed manual transmission, and it's kind of mine. I'll tell you the whole story here as we go for a nice evening drive. I've had a super long day, and what I need more than anything right now is a proper convertible drive. So I'm going to take you all along with me in this fantastic little Z3. So I acquired kind of this car about a year ago from one of my best friends who, him and his dad bought this brand new in 1996 after watching the James Bond GoldenEye film with Pierce Brosnan, with, of course, the blue on tan Z3, and they decided that they needed that car in the James Bond film. So they went to the BMW dealership the next day and placed an order for a blue on tan 96 BMW Z3. Well, somewhere along the waiting process, they decided they didn't want blue on tan and that they would prefer to have silver on red instead. So they changed their order to get a silver on red car, and well, I'm kind of glad that they did because this color combo works so well for this thing. And this car lived its life primarily in Florida. It was kind of just driven around West Palm Beach to grocery stores and, just general errands, and because of that, it got a little bit tired. It was a little ratty when it showed up. It was in desperate need of a new top. The driver's seat was shredded. The front bumper was ripped off of this thing. It needed a ton of maintenance, and over the past year and about $4,000, I have gotten this thing back up to a condition that I would very, very happily own myself. And well, I suppose at this point, I kind of do, because he has entrusted me in finding a new caretaker for this car. And as much as I would love to own it myself, I really have no excuse to own this car. I already have a Z3M Roadster, and I have like 6 other cars besides. So I really, really love this thing, and you'll see how nice this car drives today out on our little evening drive. But the main goal of this video today is to find this car a new home. So now that you kind of know the backstory on this Z3, let's talk through some basics. So 96 was the first model year for this car. GoldenEye debuted in late 95, so it kind of worked out perfectly for BMW to launch this car. And well, obviously it worked because it worked really well on my friend and his dad upon purchasing this car. But all of them in 1996 were 4-cylinder, and it wasn't until 97 and up that you could get the inline 6 in this. So this is powered by a 1.9 liter naturally aspirated inline 4. It makes 138 horsepower and 133 pound-feet of torque. This one is a 5-speed manual, and of course, it is rear-wheel drive. This was almost BMW's answer to the Miata in a way, because this segment was kind of heating up around this time, the late 90s. Everyone was wanting to build these roadsters, and well, BMW was kind of early to the game. They beat Audi with the TT, and they beat Mercedes with the SLK. So, in my opinion as well, this is one of the most beautiful cars BMW ever made. Of course, lots of 507 kind of influence here on the design, these vents on the side of the big clamshell hood. I think just the simplicity and the elegance of this car, and even in silver, which I generally don't like, it is just such a looker. And even on these very basic early Z3 16-inch wheels. In the trunk, this car still has its original little convertible boot, which you can lay over the soft top, so you look all nice and fancy going down the road with your top down, and complete toolkit there under the trunk floor. Man, I love these old BMW toolkits with the BMW branded wrenches and screwdriver and everything. So cool. I'm such like a classic BMW heritage nerd enthusiast, whatever you want to call me, that I love that it's still retained by its original owners, and I guess kind of me at this point, since I have possessed it for a year. But yeah, so let's pop the hood. Let's show you this 1.9, and then we'll go for a drive. Also, I've got to give credit where credit's due. Keone from Cap's Garage for all of the maintenance done on this thing. Sonny from Sunshine Auto Detail for fixing a couple scratches on the hood, and my buddy Stu that I share my warehouse with for doing a complete paint correction on this car. And also, John from American Mobile Interiors for doing a fantastic job with this new convertible top and driver's seat recover and just a general kind of re-dye of a lot of the interior materials. I'll put some before pictures of this car so you guys can see what I was working with before, because it looked nothing like this when it showed up. And I'm so thrilled about how far this car has come. It just looks so good now. So here, with this massive hood open, which I love, one of the coolest things about the Z3 is our 1.9 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Just a cheeky little engine shared with the BMW 318i. Of course, this is also an E36 platform car, so there are a lot of kind of shared components. Engine, driveline, there's a couple interior bits that are the same as the E36 3 Series. Get this shot. We'll get this top down and then we'll give you a little tour of the interior. Joy of joys, this just has a manual top, so nice and easy to put back. Don't have to worry about any sort of power mechanism braking on this thing. The only thing that you do have to watch is that the back window folds in a uniform way back here. There we go. That's good. And that's it. That is the top down. And this beautiful red interior, but not overly red. Just the seats and a little sprinkling of this kind of ostrich print here on the door panels, which I absolutely love. Now, this driver's seat has been mostly reupholstered. Unfortunately, we weren't able to replicate the ostrich print that you see over there on the passenger seat, but John from AMI absolutely knocked this out of the park, and it looks fantastic. So I'm super happy with the way that this turned out. I mean, look at the state of this interior. It's just fantastic. This passenger seat is original. You can see that ostrich texture there. All of the dash parts seem to be in good shape. A lot of these E36 platform cars, the interiors just fell apart on these things. So I'm pretty proud of how nice this one is. Stepping in, and this is just so proper classic BMW. Lunchbox steering wheel, 6250 RPM redline on our tack there. Love this setup. Being that this car was owned in the 90s, it has an aftermarket Pioneer head unit, but that's the only thing in here that has been changed. Everything else is original. The Z3 has these two little storage cubbies. You've got this little pocket right there that pops out, and this one up here, which opens. And you've got a bit more storage up top, which is nice. We have heated seats in this car. We've got auto up-down windows. We have cruise control, all of the stuff. So let's fire up this 1.9 liter and take this Z3 out on the road. And that comes to life. The only warning light you'll see on the dash is the ABS light, and that does kind of plague these Z3s. There are a number of little things that can go wrong that can trigger that ABS light, but that is it. Otherwise, we have a error-free dash. So we are going to roll with the earmuffs today once we get up to speed, so you all can hear what I'm on about. Just show you real quick if you are interested in this car. I'll show you that reverse works. There we go. We are moving backwards. Very nice. Very nice shifter, which, I mean, my buddy and his dad, they must have driven this car very gingerly, because everything still feels so fresh in this thing. And I promise you guys, I'm not just saying that because I want to find this car a home, but this thing drives nicer than my M Roadster. As far as like clutch engagement, shifter feel, steering, everything is so tight in this car. It is truly the German Miata, and it's just so fun. It's not fast. I mean, that goes without saying. But it does weigh under 3,000 pounds. I want to say it's about 2,800 pounds. So, you know, it's not painfully slow. Put these windows up. Also, I misspoke. They're only auto down, not auto up. But they do work just fine. Give this thing a second to warm up. Very easy to drive. Really nice inputs. This is just, again, in my opinion, the golden era for BMW. All right, muffs are going on. It's just such a happy little thing. Nice progressive power. Brake pedal feel is great. Easy to rev match. All right, let's take this corner here. Feel some of this proper old school BMW steering. I think we'll want second for that corner. We're gonna try it again. Try and have some torque coming out of there. All 133 pound-feet. I'll tell you what, every input in this car, I think buttery is the word I want to use, because it is just so satisfying to drive. Yes. So you get up to speed just fine. Part of the fun of going for a drive in a manual little convertible roadster is rowing some gears. You're able to row many gears in this car before you're doing anything illegal. It's just such a happy little thing. I think a lot of people are scared of these because, of course, it is an E36 BMW at the end of the day, but if you can get past some of that late 90s BMW scariness, this is basically like driving an NA Miata, except it doesn't rattle as much in the interior. I guess I could say that. Of course, you have a couple little, side-to-side little flappiness in this car, but you have to remember this is a nearly 30-year-old car at this point, which is kind of dating me as well. This car is only 2 years older than me. Ride quality, nice. This is a super bumpy section of road. Oh, the ride in this thing is just fantastic. A little bit of body roll, but the main point of this car is to do things like this, go out for a nice little Sunday afternoon drive, and you're really able to get the most out of this car. I mean, you can absolutely thrash this thing through first through fourth gear, and you're like not even breaking the speed limit, which is just the best. This is the kind of car that I like, a car that I can engage with, a car that I can properly drive and not have to worry about getting arrested. So this is one of those good cars, and it looks the part. Oh my goodness, is this a pretty car. Oh man, yes. I love this car, if you can't tell. As I mentioned earlier, I have a BMW M Roadster, which is the essentially E36 M3 version of this car. And, hold on. Yeah. There's just something so charming about this little 4-cylinder. The steering is fantastic. This car is such a good size. It's so easily placeable. Has no problem doing highway speeds either. 70 miles an hour. Rev just under 3,500 RPM. Got cruise control. I have no idea how it works, but it has it. Oh yeah. Bird. And honestly, damped soft enough to where you can kind of just bomb over crests like that and not worried about having some super crashy ride that's going to just shake you to pieces. BMW had this car so right. This was just, around this era is when they peaked. I mean, when I think BMW, I think this. So there you go. This is my kind of my 1996 BMW Z3 1.9 5-speed. And if you want this to be your 1996 BMW Z3 1.9 5-speed, then contact me somehow. You can comment on this video. You can DM me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram right here so you can find me. And get in touch if you want this car. And we can go from there as far as, you know, details, pricing, all that stuff. So feel free to inquire. And I really wish I had a reason to own this car, but to be completely honest with you guys, I have no need for it, and it's time to just move it on to somebody that's going to drive it, that's going to enjoy it, and get the most out of it, because I don't even drive the cars that I already have, so I don't want to neglect another vehicle and put it through that. This car needs a proper caretaker, a proper driver. It's got just under 77,000 miles on it. I'm sure you guys already saw that in the beginning. I meant to mention that, but I feel like that's a good amount of miles because it shows that the car has been driven in the past. Still kind of recalibrating my brain. I spent the morning driving around in a 300 horsepower Shelby GT Mustang, so I'm, you know, this drives very differently than that, so apologize if my driving was a little sloppy today. This is like the 4th different car that I've driven this lovely Sunday, so, you know, welcome to my world. It's a good world. I'm not complaining. I'm just, you know, just saying. All right, well, we'll wrap up the story with just a little bit more lore about this car. I have a whole folder full of pretty much every service record, documents, everything that you would think would accompany a one-owner car. Hold on, let me take the muffs off. I likely have it with this Z3, so specific pieces of paperwork, if you're interested in seeing those things, I likely have them. I even have a letter from the owner of the dealership that this car was bought from to my friend, thanking him for placing his order or purchasing or whatever. And I have the order form. That's a turkey? Is it a turkey? Okay, we'll leave him alone. It's so easily distracted. I have the order form for this car with blue and tan crossed off and silver and red penciled in, which I think is just so cool. I love cars with a story, and you know, I'm happy to give you the full story of this car, though I think I pretty much already have, so there's not really anything left to tell you about this motor. So yeah, that's that. Let's put these windows back down. I guess they're not auto up or down. For some reason I thought they were. But all right, whatever. Let's put this roof back up. Wait for the 90s. The 90s to make their noise. There we go. Okay, let's get this thing ready to go up. Pretty lightweight roof. Even though I'm groaning, I'm just weak. And boy, is this top mint. It's brand new. It's only the second time I've ever put it down, so. And that's it, top up. Cool. All right, guys, well, that's that. It's a little bit of a bittersweet ending. I've enjoyed my time of, I don't know, curating this vehicle, making sure, you know, everything was taken care of for the next owner. And that's that. This is probably the only video you'll see on this car, unless for some reason it doesn't sell and I end up keeping it. But I really hope that I'm able to find this thing a new home and somebody that's going to drive it and appreciate it like it very much deserves. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. DM me on Instagram if you're interested in this thing. And I wanted to offer it to all of you guys first before I posted it on wherever I'm going to end up posting it. I don't even know, but you guys get first dibs. So let me know if you like it, if you're interested, and we'll talk. So cool. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.